Alderman.
I'm here for you, Mayor.
Seven's
Okay,
here.
good. Okay, we're going to start and okay, we're good to start. Okay, welcome to the Monday, February 7th, 2022 City Council meeting. Can I have a roll call, please, Madam Clerk?
Alderman Rivera,
Here.
Alderman Florian,
Present.
Alderman Hayes,
Present.
Alderman Bolton,
Present.
Alderman Seeger. Unmute, sir. Alderman Seeger,
Unmute, Pat.
Just hit the space bar, Pat.
Present.
thank you. Alderman Mozio,
Here.
Alderman Kirkwood,
Present.
Alderman Newsome,
Present.
Alderman Turner,
Present.
Mayor Taylor.
Present.
You have a quorum, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before corporate council speaks, I want to remind people that we will be
Mayor,
reading audience
your
comments.
audio is really bad, Mayor.
Yeah, I'm having a very hard time hearing the mayor.
There you go. Try that now.
I don't think it should be.
Try it now, Mayor.
Can you hear me now?
It's crackling.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We won't use the microphone. Okay, before I have corporate counsel speak, I do want to remind the audience that there is a call-in number tonight that we will not just be reading audience time, but you can call in, and that number is 847-856-6412. Okay, corporate counsel.
Mayor, you're breaking up again.
Tonight's meeting is being held virtually via the Zoom video teleconferencing platform. In consideration of the resurgent COVID-19 pandemic emergency, Governor Pritzker's ongoing disaster proclamation, and pursuant to Section 7E2 of the Open Meetings Act, Mayor Taylor has determined that in-person meetings of the City Council with a quorum physically present are not practical or prudent at this time. This determination will remain in place until further notice or until the termination of the governor's disaster proclamation without further replacement, whichever occurs first.
Thank you. At this time, we will have the invocation by Pastor Willie Bridgman from Loving Arms Church at 642 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Pastor Bridgman, would you give the invocation, please?
Mayor, we are really having a hard time with your audio.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, first and foremost, I want to thank you guys for allowing us to be a part of this great union. And we will do she was announcing me to do the invocation. So we'll start now. Heavenly Father, in your holy mighty name, we thank you, O God, for this great assembly. We thank you for the great people that you have chosen to be over this great city. We pray you, O Lord, that you give them wisdom and revelation and innovation, O God, to carry out this mission. Our Father, which art in heaven, holy be thy name, that thy kingdom come, that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, O God, our daily bread, and forgive us of our debt as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us all from evil. For thou art the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. We pray. Amen.
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 Thank you, Pastor Bridgman. I'd like everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And
and
to
to
the
the
republic
republic
for which it stands,
stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and justice
and
for all.
justice for all. Okay, can everybody understand me?
No,
You're still breaking up considerably.
you should take.
Can't hear it all.
Okay, hold on just a minute. better? Can everybody?
Now your volume is low.
Can everybody hear me now?
Nope. Oh. Very low, very low.
Just go in your office, Mayor, and take the mask off.
We'll just take the mask off.
Hold on just a minute, please.
I think it's your headset.
Is that better? Is it better? We're still waiting. Sorry, we're still figuring this out.
Oh, it's worse.
This is Dr. Schwab. Could I get my video up?
Turn it on.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yeah,
Somewhat,
that was better.
that's somewhat better, yes. No, not good.
Mayor's comment.
No, Mayor, you're not there yet.
Not gonna work.
It's not working, Mayor.
Can't hear.
Yeah, it's breaking up.
Hold on just a minute.
Are you on a laptop? Hey, G-Dunk. Hear any G-Dunk? Madam Clerk, while we're waiting, can you repeat that dial-in number? I have someone texting me asking what the dial-in number is.
I can certainly give you that dial-in number, and this is the number for individuals who would like to call in and talk during the public comment time. That phone number is 847-856-6412. Let me tell you that again, 847-856-6412. And please be patient. You will be put into a queue, and when we get to audience time, we will take you as each of you come up. So again, 847-856-6412.
Okay, can everybody hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry, everyone. Okay, I'd like to thank Pastor Bridgman for the invocation this evening. And I want to wish everybody a good evening and welcome to the City of Waukegan City Council meeting. As we've dealt with the Omicron wave of COVID, we decided to hold this meeting and our previous meeting virtually. With case counts now coming down, I feel safe in saying that the next meeting, which will be held on Tuesday, February 22nd, will be an in-person meeting. As a reminder, City Hall will be closed to observe President's Day on Monday, February 21st. I continue to urge people to get vaccinated and be smart about COVID. If you are in groups of people, wear your mask over both your mouth and nose and stay home if you're sick. Take care of yourselves and your neighbors. As a reminder to everyone, every home is eligible for 4 at-home COVID-19 tests from the federal government at covidtests.gov. Also, it's just been announced that Waukegan residents in the 60085 zip code can receive 5 additional free at-home tests through Project ACT at accesscovidtest.org. So again, that's only for people in the 60085 zip code. The entire month of February is Black History Month. The month of February was chosen to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln, who issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, and Frederick Douglass, the African-American orator, social reformer, writer, and abolitionist. In 1976, under President Gerald Ford, Black History Month was officially recognized in the United States. I encourage the African at the English Manor here in Waukegan. Their website with information is theenglandmanor.com. I'd also like to remind you that the DeSable Museum of African American History in Chicago is the nation's oldest independent African American history museum. If you're taking a trip to the city this month or any month, I encourage you to visit. More information can be found at desablemuseum.org. February is also American Heart Month. To recognize this month, individuals can wear red ribbons or red clothing. Heart disease is a leading cause of death in the United States, claiming the lives of more than 650,000 people per year. During American Heart Month, we raise awareness of the risks of heart disease and remember those we have lost, and highlight steps that we can all take to save the lives of loved ones and address the unequal burden of heart disease in high-risk communities. Water service. I brought this up during our last city council meeting, but I want to mention this again. Since the start of the pandemic, the city has not been shutting off water for non-payment, but that will be ending soon. Starting on March 1st, if you are behind on your water bill, you risk having your water shut off. We don't want to do this to anyone. So please, if you're behind on your water bill, call City Hall and make an arrangement to pay your water bill as soon as possible. The city will offer amnesty for late payment fees during February. So please contact the city ASAP. Turning off residents' water for our residents or businesses' water is the last thing we want to do. But we can't continue to allow countless thousands of dollars in water bills to remain unpaid. So again, if you're behind, come to City Hall or call us and we'll do our best to work with you. A very special recognition this evening to Waukegan's interim Chief of Police, Keith Zupek. The chief is here this evening with us online, and I'm looking forward to seeing his work in action during the next few months. I know he is already hard at work reinstating our community policing efforts. I will have him come up in a couple minutes, but I want to finish some more announcements. I'm also pleased that Jeffrey Berry, the city's new code enforcer supervisor, could join us today. Jeffrey, congratulations on your new role. Congratulations to Cook Magnet School's technology specialist teacher, Julie Ahorn, who was recognized by Life Changer of the Year for challenging her students to thrive and providing them with many opportunities to work with innovative, cutting-edge technology. Through her teaching, students discovered the joy of creating with technology while developing an entrepreneurial spirit. This Thursday, Lake County State's Attorney Eric Reinhardt invites you to participate in the virtual Lake County Rising. Lake County Rising is our community version of 1 Billion Rising, a global movement demanding the end of violence against women. Community members will share how the principles of respect, grace, and kindness result in a safer community for all. Information is on our website at waukeganil.gov. This past weekend was filled with performing arts with 3 live theater productions in 3 of our theaters and 2 more musical acts in our downtown. For information about the cultural arts and events in Waukegan, business meetings and more, visit the calendar on the city's website at waukeganil.gov. On that note, I'm going to let Interim Chief Keith Zupek talk so the community can meet him.
Mayor, your video's not on.
My video's not.
No. There you go.
Is that better?
Yep.
The stand's not working. We're having problems, all kinds of it tonight.
How many people does it take to adjust the camera?
All right, that looks
It's been a
good.
terrible, the stand's not working, all kinds of things. Okay, Chief, would you like to talk?
Absolutely. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Just to address the mayor, city council members, and the citizens of Waukegan. Just give you a little information about myself. I am a born and raised Waukeganite. I'm a graduate of Waukegan High School. Proud Boval. I have been police officer for the city of Waukegan for over 25 years. I've been a police officer for more than 27 years. I became a supervisor for the Waukegan Police Department in 2001. And I have served for almost 20 years as a supervisor. The last 7.5 years, I have been a deputy chief. Needless to say, I have a large amount of institutional knowledge within the Waukegan Police Department. I hope that knowledge is going to serve me well in the post that the mayor has put me in right now. As mayor and city council members know, last Friday, we promoted a new deputy chief and a couple of sergeants. During that promotional ceremony, I spoke to those new promoted supervisors about the importance of moving forward as a super. I told them that you don't always necessarily have to know everything about the law, about our local ordinances, about our policies, though I do prefer them to know the policies well. However, what I want all of them to know is that leadership is the most important thing in supervision. And while I express that to them, I am letting the mayor know and the council members know and the citizens of Waukegan know that leadership is extremely important to me. And I hope that I will display the leadership that the mayor, the council, and the city council members and the citizens of Waukegan would expect from their interim chief of police. As the mayor said, the last couple of weeks have been very busy for me. That's not because things were in shambles or in a bad spot. It's just that anytime there's transition, it takes a while to restructure, put out some new directives, and get the department going in a direction and vision that myself, the mayor, and my upper command staff would like us to go. I am happy to announce tonight that effective today, the neighborhood policing unit is back and active. I know for the last 8 to 9 months, there have been a lot of questions about where the NPU unit has been. Unfortunately, last spring into early summer, we had a lot of staff issues. We saw a lot of departures from the department. We've gotten those numbers back. We're not all the way, but we're in a good position to put that unit back together. So I know that many citizens and council members will be ringing the phones of those officers in the NPU unit. They're waiting for you starting tomorrow. Lastly, here, Mayor and council member and citizens of Waukegan, I intend to serve you, to serve the citizens well for as long as I am in this position. I thank the mayor for the opportunity and the support to move forward in this post. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief Zupek. Thank you. That concludes the mayor's comments. With there being no resolutions, proclamations, presentations, or appointments, we will move on to audience.
Okay.
Your audio
Can
is-
can I suggest something?
Madam Clerk?
I'm sorry. It looks to me there's a lot of reverb. Maybe we can turn off some of the mics within the chamber while some of the other mics are on.
There
And that
are
could
no
help.
mics. There are no mics on at this point.
Thank you, Alderman Rivera. So. If the mayor mutes. Hold on.
Okay, what? This is the problem with Zoom meetings, and we apologize. We're doing our best here. We are obviously having some technical difficulties, and we're all scrambling to make this work.
I think if all you guys mute your phone while everybody's talking, you have better reception.
We have everything muted. It's just a reverberation of just being close enough to each other. So we're working through it the best we can.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead. First off, let me give you the phone number to call in on. 847-856-6412. That's the phone number to call in. First, though, we do have someone who's going to address you in person. Following that, Mr. Motley will read those that have been submitted to the clerk's office, and then we will take the phone calls. So again, the first one to step up is going to be former Alderman, Mr. Rick Lawson.
Rick,
Thank you. Clerk Kilkelly and the mayor. I haven't been here for a while, but some of you may know me from my past history here. Alderman Newsom, Alderman Mozio in particular. I'm here to talk about the water bills that we receive. I know that in my day, Waukegan got their water bills on a quarterly basis, and that's been changed to a monthly basis, and I understand the need for that. However, we get 2 weeks notice before we are charged late fees. I do not feel that this is fair, and it's something that the alderman can remedy. If you have a mortgage, for instance, you get 30 days to pay your bill on time, and then usually you have a 15-day grace period beyond that before late charges apply. I feel that should be the basis for our water bills. The US mail does not get billing to us in 2 days like they used to. It takes 4 or 5 or even 6 days. So by the time we receive our water bill, I feel it's almost too late to pay it in time and get it back to the city without incurring late charges. So I feel that it's upon the onus is upon the alderman to simply create a resolution to present to the mayor, give her 2 weeks to change the terms of our water billing to be equivalent to what you would get for your mortgage, namely that you have a 30-day window to pay the bill on time, and then there's a grace period for maybe another 10 or 15 days before late charges apply. I think it's fair to the citizens of Waukegan and the taxpayers for you to do that, and it can be done today. If you want to present a resolution to the mayor for her to change the terms to our third-party vendor, it's as simple as that. At least it was in my day. Thank you very much.
Okay, I have number 1 from Chuck Rextalis. City can provide parallel actions, refer environmental impacts, air, water, public safety to environmental subcommittee and sponsor a virtual town hall to get community input. I provided a city motion for 3 aldermen to refer this issue to the environmental subcommittee in a separate email. Environmental subcommittee should draft a letter for Mayor Taylor and aldermen to sign and communicate to Governor Pritzker, U.S. senators, and federal EPA regarding air and water quality to influence the federal EPA to expand toxic chemical lists to include ETO and coal ash. Draft letters for advocates could be edited and sent. Letters should include requests for independent testing of ETO for Medline and Vantage locations and warehouse storage facilities. However, the data already supports the toxic health conclusion. We don't need more data to determine how to control toxic chemicals in our air and groundwater. We will need monitoring to allow building permits from the city and zoning enforcement to control expansion of these businesses. City will provide an elected official committee to manage the integration of land use with new building permits and new zoning categories. Kind regards, Chuck Rextalis, Waukegan resident. The second is from Melissa Chen. As a doctor with over half of my patients coming from Waukegan, the health of our community is my greatest priority. We have a known carcinogen polluting our air. Ethylene oxide is an odorless, invisible gas that has been proven to cause cancer. Lake County has some of the highest cancer rates in the state. We cannot sit idly while corporations choose profits over our health. This pandemic makes it even more crucial to take action now. We already know that our communities in Waukegan are disproportionately affected by COVID. It has been demonstrated that communities with more air pollution have higher rates of COVID, and those who do get COVID are much sicker. Some of the highest emissions are right next to our schools, our daycares, our children. Are we willing to let inertia have such serious consequences on the health of our children? Several other communities with companies that emit ETO have already taken action to address this health issue in their community, created commissions with local experts, enacted laws to limit emissions. I urge the city of Waukegan to demonstrate similar responsible leadership and take action to solve the problem of ETO emissions in our community. The companies will not do it. It is up to our government to protect our health. Thank you for your time. Melissa Chen, MD, internal medicine doctor. The third is from Annette Darden. Good evening, city council members and mayor. Thank you once again for taking my public comments this evening. My name is Annette Darden, 9th Ward resident. Last city council meeting, I submitted comments regarding ETO pollution in our city and some concerns that I and my neighbors have. The response that we received collectively was that because of COVID, we cannot meet for an environmental forum. Instead, for the past several months to a year, we have been told, in essence, to wait, yet nothing has materialized to actively combat this issue. We are all very aware of the threat of COVID and the concerns surrounding it. We are all also painfully aware of the dangers of ETO and those getting cancer all around us. A forum is a start, but we are asking you to take real action and send out letters. We're asking that you contact key government officials. It takes you to make specific phone calls and exert the authority your position holds. You alone have the power. We also know that the EPA does not mandate a detectable cancer cluster to act. Therefore, it's within your ability and your authority to act as representatives of your constituents to speak to the tremendous health issue, which you have not done. COVID is not an excuse for continued inaction. Please do as your constituents have time and again requested of you. Stop ETO endorsed you, Mayor Taylor, because we believed you would take the necessary measures on this issue, and you have not, plain and simply. Waukegan deserves better leadership than this. We need an authentic and genuine leader who not only acts upon the business end of the city, but also the health and welfare of its people. Alderman Hayes, please inform your constituents with an update on your meeting with Medline and what your plans are to combat this issue in your ward also. Annette Darden, Stop ETO. The fourth is from Lisa Goodwin. To whom it may concern, we, Lisa and V. Patrick Goodwin, now of Freeport, Illinois, would like to have our following comment read, submitted at tonight's virtual council meeting. A message from Lisa Goodwin, in her own words, her husband was the former principal of Spalding Elementary School in Gurnee, 3,000 feet from Vantage ETO manufacturing plant. We lived and my husband worked less than a mile or so of Vantage Specialty. My husband was a principal at Spalding School from approximately 1989 to 1995. We also lived in a house on Delaney, just north of Sunset, from 1993 to 2000. We now both suffer from autoimmune diseases diagnosed between approximately 1994 and 1998. I suffer from Crohn's, and my husband Pat suffers from rheumatoid arthritis. On another note, our daughter, age 40, was diagnosed with the autoimmune disorder POTS approximately 6 years ago. The scariest thing is my husband, age 66, was diagnosed 3 years ago with an extremely rare non-Hodgkin's type lymphoma, Waldenstrom macroglobulinemia. Only about 2,000 per year are diagnosed. Do I believe ETO caused this rare cancer? Yes, I do. Do I believe that 3 of our 4 family members diagnosed with autoimmune disorders were caused by ETO? Yes, I do. Thank you sincerely, Lisa and Patrick Goodwin. And the 5th is from Clyde McLemore. Mayor and council members, it is upsetting that our mayor would put a press statement that lie to the citizens. I keep saying our mayor is not who she says she is. How is she working with the citizens and keep lying to us? Where is the transparency that you, Mayor Taylor, ran on? Chief Wayne Walls did not retire. He was fired by Chief of State and City Attorney. As a mayor, you got that right to place who you want in that spot. However, to make a press statement that he voluntarily retirement, this shows the citizen that you are not truthful, you are a liar. Chief Wayne Walls has been on Waukegan Police Force for 29 years. He is a resident of Waukegan and a military veteran. He has a relationship with the community, which in this day and time is very hard for police to have relationships in the Black and brown communities. This shows that you don't have a relationship with the communities or even care. It is very important that a mayor of a city should have countless relationships within the city. Mayor, you have cost the city thousands of dollars in settlements because of your reckless behavior. Now you have to get ready for another lawsuit again for your reckless behavior. I'm very disappointed in your behavior, and I know you really don't want this job, so I'm calling for your resignation. Thank you, council members, for hearing the statement. Clyde McLemore, Executive Director of Black Lives Matter, Lake County. And Madam Clerk, I believe that concludes the submitted comments for reading.
So don't go anywhere, David.
I will sit tight.
Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Miss Kathy Charity, are you there? Kathy, go ahead. Miss Kathy Charity, please go ahead.
To unmute a phone line, please press *6 on your phone.
Okay, Kathy, try, Kathy? Am I muted? It should be. Kathy, can you talk?
Can you hear me?
We're gonna go to the next
Can you hear-
speaker. That would be, do we got her? Go.
Can you hear me?
There.
Yes, we can hear
Can you
you.
hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, here. Yes. Yes.
Just speak, Kathy. Go ahead. We can hear you. Not now. Kathy, we cannot hear you now.
She done?
She's done. She dropped out.
Oh, she got off. Did she
Yeah.
do her speech? Did she did?
No.
Okay. Let's go to Margaret Carrasco. We'll go back, David, and you can read hers. Margaret Carrasco, you have 3 minutes.
Yes.
Please go right ahead, ma'am.
Okay, great. Good evening tonight. My words will highlight refreshing, positive changes that Waukegan residents have noticed. Can you hear me, Margaret?
Margaret, we can hear you. You can proceed.
Oh, okay. So should I just go ahead?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Margaret Carrasco, we'll go back, David, and you can read hers. Margaret Carrasco.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Good evening. Tonight, my words will highlight refreshing, positive changes that Waukegan residents have noticed. First, the city board docs are translated to Espanol on the website, which is fabulous. Next, accountability. Residents' complaints about police are actually being investigated and their findings are communicated in a former written letter from the Office of Professional Standards that never, ever occurred before under the past administration. Third, city employees are no more working remote, and instead city workers are physically present at City Hall to help residents. Plus, more police are on the streets. This is a proactive measure that deters crime. And lastly, keep your fingers crossed, hopefully, for the first time ever in Waukegan, efforts are already taking place to have the Jesse White Tumblers tryouts take place here in Waukegan. This will be a positive alternative for our Waukegan kids. Team members are required to stay away from gangs, drugs, alcohol, stay in school, and maintain a minimum of C average. And they have 7 teams consisting of both males and females starting from the age of 6. They give over 1,500 performances each year at major sporting events, community, business, and charity functions, and have performed in Hong Kong, Bermuda, Belize, China, Israel, and Japan, and have been featured in commercials, TV shows, and motion pictures. This, if we're able to swing it, would be an awesome experience to have our Waukegan youth get a shot to participate with the Jesse White tumblers. Let's make it happen, Waukegan. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Margaret. We are going to go back to Miss Kathy Charity. She has called back, and make sure that you do not have anything on in the background. And again, Kathy Charity, I hope you're there. We're going to try it one more time. If not, we will read your written report that you sent in. Hold on. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Miss Kathy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, Mayor Taylor, Clerk Killickelly, and City Councilman. My name is Kathy Charity, and I would like to express my concerns regarding the First Ward on McAllister Avenue and 10th Street. This ward has become a total eyesore. Last year, early fall, I texted my alderman regarding a bag of garbage that was left out on the street for at least 3 weeks. I texted my alderman to let her know that the garbage bag was torn by animals and garbage was blowing all over the streets and yards. The response I got back from my alderman was, "I'm at work," using an exclamation mark. I didn't expect to speak to her verbally because I knew she was at work. She also has texted me from work regarding issues. I have seen neighbors actually clean out their cars and throw garbage on the street of McAllister Avenue. Another occasion during the early winter, 2021, old furniture was set out on the street until the snow covered it up for weeks. I don't bother to text my alderman anymore because I know who to call now just to avoid any more exclamation marks. When I travel through other wards in Waukegan, it brings a sigh of relief. The communities are so well kept and clean. Waukegan has code violations and many people do not abide by them. I pray there will be more code officers in place in these areas. As a taxpaying constituent, moving out of the First Ward has been one of my first priorities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Kathy. Again, let me give you the number
Thank you.
to call in, and that number is 847-856-6412. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, for those wanting to comment, the call-in number is 847-856-6412. We're going to have a little delay on that. My apologies for the snafu. So hang in there. Hold on. We're just going to go for the last minute callers. Again, 847-856-6412. Thank you to all who called in, who wrote in, and who came in. We appreciate your participation. I believe that concludes the audience time, Mayor. It's back to you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next is the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll motion.
Okay, Alderman Rivera, second.
Alderman Hayes.
Okay, Alderman Hayes. Any questions to the consent agenda? Okay. Item A, motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from Tuesday, January 18th, 2022. Item B, motion to approve vendor payments dated February 7th, 2022 in a total amount of $2,345,851.59. Item C, motion to approve regular payroll dated January 28th, 2022 in the total amount of $1,642,424.53. Item D, motion to approve the miscellaneous payroll holiday buyback comp time cash out dated January 28th, 2022, in the total amount of $4,200.77. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
I'm going to be taking this one. So Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Bolton,
Aye.
Alderman Seager,
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo,
Aye.
Alderman
Aye.
Kirkwood,
Aye.
Alderman Newsom,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Okay. There being no reports and communications or old business, on to new business. Item A, can I have a first?
I'll move.
Okay, Alderman Rivera, second.
I'll second.
Okay,
I'll
is that,
second.
okay, Alderman Bolton. Item A, any questions to the, well, I'll read it first, I'm sorry. Motion to approve a change order to the Lake County Joint Purchasing Agreement with Manoni and Waukegan to reflect the increased unit prices effective January 1st, 2022 through February 28th, 2022. This matter was presented to the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee at the regular meeting held on February 7th, 2022. Any questions to that motion? Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
I can call the roll for Madam Clerk while she's typing.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Bolton,
Aye.
Alderman Seager,
Aye.
Alderman Mozio,
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood,
Aye.
Alderman Newsom,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item B, can I have a first for the motion? I need
I'll
a
motion.
first.
And I'll second.
Alderman,
I'll second.
okay, Alderman Seager, second. Motion authorizing the proper city officials to settle Police Department Workmen's Compensation Claim 201-502-03-0001 for a total amount not to exceed $167,898.48. This matter was presented to the Government Operations and Oversight Committee at the regular meeting held February 7th, 2022. Any questions to the motion? Okay, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Bolton,
Aye.
Alderman Seager,
Aye.
Alderman Mozio,
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood,
Aye.
Alderman Newsom,
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item C. Can I have a first to the motion?
Alderman Hayes.
So move.
Alderman Newsom, second. Item C, motion authorizing the proper city officials to approve a voluntary retirement agreement for Wayne Walls. This matter was presented to the Government Operations and Oversight Committee at the regular meeting held on February 7th, 2022. Any
Your Honor.
questions to the? Any
Yes,
questions?
comments, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right. I will try to keep my decorum and calmness on this. There is nothing voluntary about this at all. And everybody knows it. The way it was handled is probably the worst thing I've seen happen in my 19 years on the city council. This chief took over a department that had 3 suicides, saw us through riots, saw us through an officer-involved shooting, has built trust like I've never seen in the community, served his country in the U.S. Army. And this is how we treat him. And Mayor, You don't even have the decency to go do it yourself. You send somebody else to do it. That's a failure in leadership to the nth degree, in my opinion. And now you want to go out for a nationwide search? I'll tell you right now, and I'll tell all of Waukegan, there's only one person that I will support for the next chief, and that's the one that's in there right now, and that's Chief Zupek. Anybody you bring to me is a no vote. We have, in this day and age in policing, there's nothing more important than trust. Nothing more important than trust. We have man shortages. He saw us through that. And this is what we do. Or I shouldn't say we. That doesn't mean we. That's a bad pronoun. No. So as I said, don't bring me anybody else but Chief Zupek for the full-time chief, because that is dead on arrival with this alderman.
Okay. Any other comments to the motion?
Alderman Kirkwood. Mayor, I guess I'm really surprised because I picked up the paper and I saw it says Waukegan Police retire. I look at my packet and my question is, was it really a voluntary retirement? Or was he given notice that either retire or we're going to dismiss you? I read the information in the packet. You can see all the lawyer statements in there to make sure that the city is covered. But once again, someone that was born in Waukegan, raised in Waukegan, went to the city schools, came back, served his community 29 years, and we still treat them wrong. And we talk about transparency. There's no transparency.
No.
Whatsoever. And if you treat someone like that, I can just imagine how you're going to treat other people. And there'll be more coming along. So, I want to be supportive, but not when you treat people like you've treated Chief Walls. And I'm sure he signed the document so that, we protect ourselves, but we already spent money on similar situations. So I just hope in the future, there's a lot more transparency than you've given us since your tenure. Because I truly want to work with you, but not like this. And I will say the same thing that Alderman Mosio. I will not support anyone in a nationwide search. It's dead in the water coming from the Fourth Ward.
Again, I respect both your opinions. I generally will not discuss personnel issues, but certainly did during Alderman, when we met with the Alderman, and I know both of you were not able to attend that. So, but I think the Aldermen know everything. We've been transparent about it. But at this point, we will take a roll call.
One more statement I follow up. You know how I found out about it too? I get a group text message from the chief of staff. I don't even get a phone call. I don't even get a phone call explaining. I get a group text message early in the morning. That's as piss poor as it can get.
I think there's another side to that, Alderman Mosio, with all due respect. But again, I will not discuss personnel issues in public. But if you would love to meet with us, we'd love to do that. Again, let's do a roll call, please.
Well, let me just make one more comment, and I'll just simply say that the Tuesday that we had our council meeting, I believe that something was already in the works. And I tried to call you as you asked me to do. I could not get through because apparently the lines were down with the furniture being moved out. I then did talk with Chief of Staff.
Okay.
We did talk on the phone, and I'll leave it like that.
Mayor, if I may, please, everybody else is weighing in. I got to talk too, if you don't mind. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one administrator here or executive official. That's Mayor Taylor. We are aldermen. She is the admin. The mayoral appointments are done with consent of the council. She doesn't have to request our permission to negotiate a retirement amongst personnel. I like Chief Wallace as much as anyone, maybe more. I had a very extremely close relationship with him, and I still do. But for you guys to come out here without knowing all of the facts, admittedly don't know, and then make accusations of some impropriety against the mayor for making a decision that's solely within her purview. She doesn't need our permission. So whatever went on between with the mayor, with Chief Wallace, and why he retired, it's irrelevant, and we have no say in that. So I just caution you. You know, we often get all emotional about things that we really don't know what's going on or why. So maybe there's something you don't know, and you might want to just go talk to the mayor. Thank you.
You don't know what I know.
Exactly. So
Very well said, Alderman Turner. Very well said.
Okay, let's do a vote on this.
What do we, may I ask, excuse me, what actually are we voting on? Clarify.
This is just for his, corporate counsel, would you like to clarify this? It's just for his retirement agreement.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is to approve the voluntary retirement agreement with Chief Wayne Wallace.
It's
Okay.
exactly what you were informed about the other day. Okay, we've had a motion on it. Can I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Alderman Flores,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Bolton,
I, in reference to understanding you had his attorney to represent him. That's what I'm understanding for this agreement.
Is what?
Alderman Seager,
Aye.
Alderman Rosedale,
I have to vote aye, but it wasn't voluntary by any means.
Alderman Kirkwood,
No.
Alderman Newsom,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
aye.
motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item D.
This was held over in committee.
Okay. Item E, can I have a motion, please?
I'll motion.
Okay, motion, or Alderman Rivera, a second.
Second.
Seconded.
Alderman Newsom. Item E, motion to authorize the proper city officials to engage the is it Polinsky or Polinsky?
Polsinelli.
Polisinelli law firm, I'm sorry, as outside real estate counsel for the Fountain Square ground lease. This matter was presented to the Government Operations and Oversight Committee at the regular meeting held on February 7th, 2022. Any questions to the motion?
Mayor Alderman Kirkwood, as I put the question in the committee, you know, my concern is that we have not determined whether we're going to lease the land or sell the land outright. And I want to make sure that that's on the table so that once it does come forward, we have an understanding that that decision is not made, because I know it says about leasing the property, and certainly Corporation Counsel made some clarity to that, but I want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay, would you like to clarify, corporate counsel?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, and thank you for the question, Alderman Kirkwood. The proposal that Full House submitted was for a ground lease, but this agreement here is only to retain outside counsel to begin negotiations and preparation of documents. It is not approving a document. And as I said, on the 22nd, there's going to be a more fulsome presentation where you're going to see numbers, you're going to hear from Full House. And at that point, we will receive further direction from the council on how to proceed. At that point, we will not be approving any ground lease or a sale. So this is really just kind of setting the table and getting the negotiations started.
Madam Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Alderman Kirkwood. He raises an excellent point. This is a legal binding contract, and I would suggest that we remove any reference to land lease or ground lease or however it's termed. We can do that as a on the floor amendment now and then pass it through.
Okay.
So I would like to make a motion to amend the proposed ordinance to remove the statement referencing ground lease.
And add what?
Mayor,
And
I would suggest.
Hold on, John, maybe it'll shed some light on this. Alderman Turner and Alderman Kirkwood, I understand your concerns. I called Corporation Counsel Weiss this afternoon, and he explained that this is just the beginning of the process and nothing is going to be done. Again, I had to call him. I got no communication from anybody at City Hall about this. So I agree with both of you, but if you call Mr. Weiss tomorrow, I think he can explain it very well about what the process and procedure is going to be and how we're going to go about this, because that was exactly my same concern.
Right.
Well,
I think
Alderman,
if you call him tomorrow, he'll be able to explain it to you.
and Alderman Turner, I would suggest that maybe replacing the term ground lease with land transaction.
Thank you. That would be sufficient, and that would be my motion.
I agree.
Will you second my motion, Alderman Kirkwood?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second.
okay, so it will be motion to authorize the proper city officials to engage the Polsinelli law firm as outside real estate counsel for the Fountain Square land transaction.
That is correct.
Okay, so this matter was presented in the Government Operations and Oversight Committee at the regular meeting held on February 7th, 2022. Any other questions to the motion? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Flores.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Bozier.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Amendment motion passed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That completes, there's no ordinances, so Alderman time.
Alderman Rivera.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, I want to thank everyone who participated in our audience time. Also, I would like to share my condolences to all the Waukegan families that have lost a loved one since our last meeting. And also to remind people to continue to be mindful regarding when you go out, make sure you do have face coverings. Something that hasn't been discussed lately is simply washing your hands. We just need to get back to some of those routines. And I know it's very difficult, but again, it just keeps everyone and yourself safe. Reminding everyone, alternate parking, please make sure that you're checking where you're parking your vehicle in the evenings. Also, city stickers are going to be coming out shortly. I would recommend people to start looking at getting them. We will be ticketing, I believe, in early June. So you have until the end of May to obtain them. Thank you, Mayor, for getting the neighborhood policing back. I had a conversation with our police officer, our neighborhood police officer, Lainey Newman, and again, thanked her for coming back and welcomed her back. She also wanted me to share her phone if anybody has any questions or concerns within the 7th Ward. I believe Lainey is doing the 7th and the 8th. I'm not sure. But her number is 847-596-5467. Again, that's 847-596-5467, and that is Officer Lainey Newman. She is the neighborhood police officer for the 7th Ward. Want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day, and God bless, and thank you very much.
Madam Clerk?
That was it for me.
I'm gonna assume I'm next.
You are.
Okay, and thank you, Felix, for pointing out, Lainey is sharing us again. We're blessed to have her back. She called me this afternoon too, and it was wonderful to hear from her and hear that that program is back. I greatly missed her. My new code enforcement officer needs to develop a relationship with her now so he can even do more good things for the 8th Ward. I'm grateful to have that unit back. I also want to talk a little bit about the point in time count. A few Wednesdays ago, I participated in the point in time count, which is the effort made with PADS and the Homeless Coalition and the county. There's a whole kind of little consortium of people who work together to try to count the truly unsheltered. And they purposely do it in January, which you can imagine is a tough time to be out and be homeless. I was with my good friend Gina Roberts, who's on the county board, and we had the Highwood and Highland Park area. And we went out about 10 o'clock at night, and we were out there till about 12:30. And we did find two elderly gentlemen. One had been homeless 5 years, one 3 years. They were very gracious in answering the survey that we had, and it was just a very humbling, eye-opening experience. I just wanted to share that experience and encourage anyone who's interested to participate again. Like, they try to do it every year. They didn't do it last year because of COVID. I don't know if it's going to be planned for next year or 2 years from now, but it's a very worthwhile time to go out and see exactly what some people are facing out there. So anyway, there's that. Then I also wanted to talk about Earth Week again. We've been discussing this for the last couple meetings. Marty Wozniak is putting together a group of people who are trying to put a whole week together around Earth Day. So we're going to call it Earth Week. I sent a message to Mr. Garland today to ask about the dumpsters and find out how many were available and if we'd be able to cover the whole week somehow throughout the whole city. So I hope I can get cooperation from all 8 of you to participate in that event and have a dumpster at some point during the week in your ward. And then to try to maybe get some teams together in your ward to clean up the areas that are in need. So if you have any questions about that, please reach out to me. And we're trying to get any and all help. I did, with the chief of staff's help, I did participate in the faith-based group last Thursday and asked the churches to participate, hoping that they'll do, the block or so around their church. I didn't get very much response, sadly, from them. Only one person reached out to me, but hopefully they'll be, as time goes, they'll still consider participating. We've also got the school system involved. So hopefully the schools will also do a group and do it around each school building too. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit about the water bills. Mr. Larson was in audience time. He's one of my residents and I get lots of calls. I don't know if all of you do, or if it's just a thing out by me, but we get our bill oftentimes on Tuesday or Wednesday and it's due on Friday. I have spoken to the mayor about this numerous times. I do know they're working on getting it so that there's like a 45-day grace period instead of just a 30-day, which I don't even think it's 30 days sometimes, to be honest with you. So I'm hoping that that's coming very soon, because it is annoying to the residents, to say the least, that they get these bills and they're due in a couple of days, because there are still some people that like to pay the old-fashioned way with a check in the mail. So thank you for that and have a good night.
Thank you, Alderman Florian. I hope you can hear me now. I did say your name twice before, just nobody heard. Next I have is Alderman Hayes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So a couple of points I want to make. First, I'd just like to say thanks to Chief Walls for his service to the city over many years. Though I was only able to work with former chief for a couple of months, I appreciate everything he did for me and all of the help that he provided. So thank you for your service. With that, congratulations to Interim Chief Zupek. I look forward to working with you. And also, thank you and to the mayor and to everybody involved for resurrecting the neighborhood policing unit. I believe for the 9th Ward, the officer will be Officer Kristen Luca. I'll confirm that, but that's what I saw on the website. So I can put out some more information on that, but I'm looking forward to working with Officer Luca. I also want to make a comment about, or I guess I should say, first of all, I want to thank everybody for their comments at the last meeting and at this meeting regarding the environmental challenges that we're facing in Waukegan. They are very serious. I take them very seriously. I appreciate you taking the time to submit a statement or appear at City Council. On that, I think as aldermen, we all have a vision for our wards. And as citizens, we all have a vision for the city of Waukegan. Those visions may not always be the same, but no matter how different they are, we have to be aligned on one critical point. And that's that the success of our future as a city turns on the quality of our air and our water, the health and well-being of our citizens. I have to believe that we can all agree on this point. As an alderman, as a citizen, as a father of young children, please know, everybody in the 9th Ward and all wards, I'm engaged on the issue of ETO. I'm engaged on the issue of coal ash and the challenges that those are bringing to our community. I'm open to your phone calls, to your emails. I will come to your house and meet with you. We are going to be having town halls in the coming months. We can talk about these issues there. I will help in any way I can. I will be your voice. As was indicated in one of the messages earlier, I am working to meet with a representative from Medline. Medline has been very open to that, to its credit, to learn as much as I can on both sides of the issue, educate myself and try to educate the community. But like I said, I want to work with everybody, and I'm open to all your phone calls. I'm open to all your emails. Last point I'd like to make is regarding some of the comments earlier from some of the other aldermen. I understand that there's certainly issues on both sides of the Chief Wall's departure, but I would encourage everybody to keep an open mind. Saying your answer is no to an issue, a personnel issue or another city issue right off the bat is not the message that we want to send to the people of Waukegan. We are not narrow-minded. We are open-minded. We represent everybody in the community and we need to make decisions that are best for the community. So I understand you're upset. I've certainly had some frustration in my short time as an alderman. And it is very easy to get emotional about it, but I would like everybody to just keep an open mind on all issues. With that, thank you for the time and have a nice evening.
Thank you, Alderman Hayes. Alderman Bolton.
Yes, in acknowledgement to Black history, let us salute this particular month in celebrating our heritage. And I want to thank you all once again for also public comments and everything. Thank you for being honest with me and transparent, because I do my best as an alderman to serve you. And I remind you, yes, if I don't answer my phone, I do my best to call you back. And in reference to the comment that was made, I do remember specifically that particular case. And I do remember Public Works coming out cleaning that mess up, because I too get very frustrated when I see our code inspectors, our Public Works come out to clean up, and then some constituents and those residents here in the first ward don't fully cooperate. However, my number is, again, please call me 224-607-8445. Once again, 224-607-8445. If you acknowledge on a positive note, not negating anything that has already been said, I totally agree. I do my best to answer my phone or to call you back as mentioned before. But if you notice a lot of demolition, thanks to our departments cooperating, our condemned houses are coming down in the first ward. If you notice, there's less drug activity. And if you notice, I know our code officer is, and as well as public works, they're overloaded, but they do their best. And I have to acknowledge them for their good work. Well done. Yes, they get behind, but they do come out and they do clean up. And if you notice, our alleys are cleaner, our streets are cleaner. And if you still see something, you can call me or you can call Public Works directly. But there's some improvement. If you look at, we have new housing. 120 units are being presently built. So I just want to say that on a positive note. If you notice, I'm working with putting handicap parking in. I do my best to work with you. So I'll just say pray for me and continue to be patient with me. I do my best. And now with that being said, we talk about a lot about transparency, accountability, and things of that sort. As a city, I very disappointed that our chief Wallace was discharged. You know, I got the call, I was out of town, very disappointed. However, I acknowledge him for his good work that he's done. He's truly have worked hard, as well as possibly been misunderstood. So getting back to the point though, of accountability, I want to move and I want to motion that the minutes from December 6th in reference to the final agreement between city and our prior finance director, that those minutes, the audio minutes, as well as the written minutes be released. Because I've gotten a lot of calls, people inquiring in reference to this issue. So may I get a motion?
I will second that motion.
That is the discussion of closed session minutes is a discussion that needs to happen in closed session. So if you would like to schedule a meeting for that, we can do that at the next council meeting.
But I have a question. I understand that they've been finalized and has been released.
No, they have not been finalized.
And may I ask what's the reason for that?
Oh, wait, are you asking for the agreement or the minutes?
Yes, the agreement, yes.
Yes, the agreement has been finalized. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
that
thought you were asking
information
about
be
the minutes.
released, yes.
It is a public document. When you say released?
And so it's already public? Okay.
Yeah, and it has been FOIA'd. It is an available document.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So that's all I have for now. Oh, one last thing. Every first Thursday of the month, we encourage all clergy and community church leaders and as well as church community to come together. And we meet every Thursday, whether over Zoom or our city council meetings. So I just want to welcome you all. If you need more information, once again, that number is 224-607-8445. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Alderman Bolton. Alderman Seager.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'd like to send out my thanks to Public Works, the whole department. These guys are overworked. And with these cold temperatures and the snow plowing, they do a great job. So I thank them all. I want to thank Eddie and his crew from Water Department. We've had a lot of water main breaks. I had one Sunday over on 9th Street, 2300 block. They're working their tails off. They deserve a lot of credit. So Public Works, God bless you. I thank all of you. The whole department, everybody. Thank you for your hard work and time. Everybody have a good evening and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Mosio.
Yeah, just one thing, Janet Kilkelly, I want to give my heartfelt condolences to you on the passing of your father. He was a wonderful man, a true Waukeganite, and I just want to pass on my condolences to you. God bless you, dear.
Thank you. Alderman Kirkwood.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Once again, my condolences go out to all the families who have lost loved ones, and specifically the George Kelly family, as well as the Kilkelly family on the loss of your loved ones. Also, congratulations go out to Interim Chief Zupek, Sergeant Neal that was moved to Deputy Chief, and Patrolman Paulson moved to Sergeant, as well as Patrolman Villalobos moved to Sergeant. Also, I want to mention again about the changing of boundaries, that committee. I have not heard back where we are with that, but I'd like to serve on that committee. As we know, the aldermanic election is next year. I like to be a part of the looking, if we're going to redraw lines, I like to be a part of that. So I will put that out there again, because some of the numbers from the counties have changed. Also, as Alderman Seeger said, congratulations to Public Works. They're doing an excellent job. Mayor, you've made a good choice with those two gentlemen. They head that department thus far. They're doing a fantastic job. Also, with bringing back our neighborhood police people, I did talk with Officer Bree today, and so we can get back started with a number of things that we're doing in the 4th Ward. Also, as Alderman Bolden talked about, this is Black History Month. There's a lot of activities. Those of you that want to learn more about Black history and the depth of it, there's many things going on. Also, in terms of Earth Week that Alderman Florian talked about, we do have signs from the 4th Ward that talks about keeping Waukegan clean. And I've mentioned this to all the aldermen before. There's a stop sign that we have that is in English and Spanish that says, stop, don't drop it. Keep Waukegan clean. If you would like to purchase some of those, we bought them in bulk for the 4th Ward, but certainly I think it would coincide with Earth Day so that all the aldermen get involved. Also, Mayor, I'd like to set up a meeting regarding the downtown parking for businesses. I've talked with the business people downtown, and I know there's been some conversation, but I would appreciate that anytime something is going on in the 4th Ward that I'm involved, whether it's through the planning and zoning, whether it's things that are happening as far as the tax increment, I like to be involved in that. Also, for our residents, you can contact me at 844-484-9273. I want to apologize that my city email is not up. It's not running. So you can't contact me by email, but certainly if you call me, I will return your call. Once again, let's have a great week. And we will be having some joint meetings with the 1st Ward and the 2nd Ward in the near future, and I'll get that information out to you. Thank you. Let's have an excellent rest of the week.
Oh, Mayor, just very quickly in response to Alderman Kirkwood's question about redistricting, the federal government, their 2010 census numbers were offline for a while. We just received those today. So we now actually have the comparisons between the wards as of today, how much they've changed. So you will be getting a memo from my department. All the aldermen will be getting that on how the redistricting process will start. Obviously, that is a political process, as you said, that involves a committee that will be directed by the alderman, but I'll be advising you on the raw numbers.
Thank you. Alderman Newsome.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I have no comments this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Turner.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Got to tell you, I love Waukegan, and I'm so grateful that, I spent about 42 years essentially as a nomad. I lived in several states, and I can't even count all the different cities I lived in over 42 years. before I landed here in Waukegan back in 1999. And, I immediately became involved in our community in a number of ways. And I'm really grateful that God put me here in Waukegan. I just absolutely love this town. Alderman Kirkwood, you just mentioned the signs that you have about the don't litter and such. I just want to remind everyone, we do have an ordinance against putting signs in the parkways in the 6th ward. If you put signs in the parkway, I will often come by and take them and put them in your yard. And if they go back in the parkway, I usually move them maybe twice. The 3rd time I dispose of them. I want to remind you, that's part of keeping the wards clean, is keeping stuff out of the parkway. And the thing is that, you put a sign out in the parkway and it stays there forever. And it gets bent, it gets tilted over, and it becomes unsightly. So in 6th ward, I'm very cognizant of that, and I take actions. I would encourage you to do the same. But it is a great idea. I like those signs, Alderman Kirkwood. I do like them. I just want to remind you, they should go on private property, not on city property. In the 6th ward, I'm out there still, as I have been, since before I became alderman. I'm out there every morning in the very early morning hours, usually between 4:30 and 7, and then in the midday and often in the evening as well. Still picking up a lot of trash. The back of my truck, my pickup truck, is full of trash that I picked up in the street. I've got to get up to city yards and clean out my truck. But I also see a number of continuing instances where people are leaving their trash bins and recycle bins out far beyond garbage day. I think we all have probably at one time or another, forgotten, didn't feel like it, left the trash bin out for a couple of days. But I see people that are leaving the bins out literally from one trash day to the next. We did recently pass an ordinance where you now have to ensure that your trash bins are kept beyond the front of the house, along the side or at the rear of the house, depending on your configuration there. And I just want to hope that you will be cognizant of that. And again, I'm out there, I take direct action. So don't blame anyone else but me, because I'll come by there and move your trash can into your driveway in such a way that you have to move it in order to get your car in and out. And that's to help you remember that you got to move your trash can. Do you want to talk about Chief Wallace and Chief Zupik? First of all, I'm going to tell you, I think it's inappropriate to talk about personnel matters and to critique and criticize personnel decisions and goings-on here on council floor. If you have questions, it will be appropriate to talk with the mayor about that. But I do want to thank Chief Wallace for his 29 years of service to city of Waukegan. He was an excellent chief, and I really enjoyed interacting with him. I also know Chief Zupik very well, and I also enjoy working with him. I have the highest level of confidence in the chief. But along with that, those aren't the only changes. So Alderman Kirkwood, I think, mentioned the other promotions, which were Sergeant Neal to Deputy Chief, and Patrolman Paulson and Villalobos to Sergeant of Police, and I want to congratulate them as well. Folks, often change is, sometimes we reject change just on the strength that it's change, because we don't understand it. In our minds, we can't rationalize it, but often change is good, right? So we elected Mayor Taylor to lead the city and to make those types of decisions. I think, and I got to tell you, the mayor knows this. The mayor knows that I do not agree with her on everything. And we've often bumped heads about one matter or another, but I do respect her as being the mayor and making those decisions. So I want to thank everyone for your attention tonight. I encourage you to stay warm. I think we're going to get another blast of cold air. Remember your pets, if it's cold out and you're cold out, and they're cold out, so bring your pets in. Thank you all very much. Have a great night.
Mayor, that concludes Alderman time. Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, I'd like to make
I'll motion.
Your audio is terrible.
Janet, you're cracking up.
That was in slow motion, but I will motion.
I can.
Apologize. It's been a night of.
It sounds like a pinball machine.
I'm out of
I don't know. I don't even know who's speaking. Is that Mayor Taylor?
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay,
Second by
Alderman
Florian.
Hay.
Florian,
We're ready for roll call?
yes.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes. Was that a yes?
That's a yes.
Okay. Alderman
Sorry.
Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio. Okay. Alderman Bolton. Alderman Seager. Oh my God.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio. Okay, thank you. Alderman Kirkwood. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
No. Made me start late. I'll make you stay late.
Motion passed. Okay, good night, everyone. Remember, next meeting, Tuesday, February 22nd.
Good night and God bless everyone.
Good night.
Night.